Well, so far so good. While I'm waiting for the power supply fan, I get on with the mechanical stuff. I guess I'm probably about halfway through. So these are the two Gantry side plates with stepper motors fitted and stuff. And this is the central motor mount that will have my DeWalt fitted to. And so next up is to complete the gantry by making the crossbeam between the two end plates. No major problems, I think, so far. A few little small things, like there's excellent video descriptions as well as write-ups on how to put it all together. Every now and then you hit a slight discrepancy between what's in the video and what's in the text. But it's pretty minor things, like I think there's one where it says you put a washer under this lock nut. But I don't see why you would need one, and in the actual video the guy doesn't use them, so I didn't bother. Putting these little limit switches on, when I put it on the central point, you see it's fitted with little small 2mm nuts, and it says to do the same here on the left side plate. But instead of having big through holes here that you can just poke the bolts through, this plate is threaded. So I didn't bother with the nuts. Apart from that, it's all fairly straightforward stuff. So onward and upwards. So there we go. I think I'll stop there at the first session. So that's the whole gantry put together. Next I'll put the y-axis rails on, and then the thing will basically be its footprint will be sort of fixed, and then we'll get on to fitting the whole motor mount and router stuff here. So far so good. Okay, so that's the basics of the mechanics of the thing done. Next up is putting all the belts on for the stepper motors and stuff. Okay guys, so at this point the mechanical build is done and the motors are all wired up and switches, etc. One, I think, potential screw up here is I followed the written instructions for how you do this, and it says these two cables for the motors that are up on the gantry should be 5 foot 6 inches long, and so that's how I cut them. On the video clip of the guy actually doing it, he says you cut them at 6 foot long. And so I think I usually go on the basis that the written instructions are going to be later because they're easier to do rather than redo a video. But there isn't a lot of room here now to connect these guys up to the controller and whatnot. So yeah, I might be extending some cables there. Apart from that, I think the rest of it sort of went okay. Then my trusty part supplier delivered. So here we have a 60 by 60 by 15 cooling fan, which is at a slightly higher rating than the one I took out, and also has what appear to be much more efficient blades in the fan, and so should generally be at least a match, if not better, than the one I took out of there. Let's get that done. So there we go, new fan installed. So now I think I'm going to have to check this power supply out on its own to make sure nothing's happened to it, apart from the fan, before we carry on. Okay, so I have extended the two cables that were cut too short. So now all the cables are approximately the same length. So they'll all screw into the controller, hopefully reasonably well. My problem now is I don't really have enough space for where it is, where to put the controller. So ultimately I think what I'll do is I'll build a base for this to sit on, which will have like a drawer underneath or a space underneath where I can put this. And then the whole thing is all a contained unit. So at this stage, apart from, as I say, the limit switch wires were incorrectly quoted for length as well, so I had to extend those. But yeah, I think I'm almost there as far as the mechanical stuff is concerned, and next will be to wire it up to the controller and give it a power up and see what happens. So that will be for after Christmas, because tomorrow is Christmas Day and I have some guests coming for Christmas dinner, so I shall be busy in the kitchen most of the day. So guys, have a very Merry Christmas, you and your families. Thanks for all your help during the year and all the encouragement and comments and whatever. And thanks to all my existing and new subscribers throughout the year. Hopefully there was some interesting stuff along the way. And hopefully there'll be more interesting stuff as we go through next year. Thanks a lot, guys. See you again soon after Christmas.